Now back to the crossover with Marlon Jones and Armon Williams.
All right, welcome back to the crossover with Marlon and Armon, KDUS 1060. Subscribe and follow us on our social media accounts on both our YouTube and Facebook page at the crossover 1060. Once again, that's at the crossover 1060. All right, the segment is brought to you by AZ Turf & More, a family-owned and operated landscape design and installation company. Check out their more than 12,000-plus installs through Instagram, Facebook, or their website, azturfandmore.com. Once again, that's azturfandmore.com. And with that, our next guest, as usual, he's the owner of AZ Turf & More. We welcome back the one and only Crazy Tracy Ting-U. Crazy Tracy.
One and only.
Yes,
One and only?
One and only.
Wow,
Yes.
that's great. That's great.
What's going on? What do you got going on this week, man? I know you got some interesting
tons of stuff going on, man. I'm excited by this Florida State-Clemson game.
Yeah.
Kind of what I thought. It's there's one thing about football at this point of the year. Nobody is as good or as bad as we think they are. So you're going to have to watch out when you're betting on these games. There's certainly some hype around certain teams. We think certain teams are awful. Your Arizona Cardinals are actually one of 7 teams that are 2-0 against the spread. They've covered both lines in both of their games, which is shocking. A lot of people will be like, hey, I'm not betting on the Cardinals, but the reality is they won both of their games against the spread.
Any chance they do it this week against the Cowboys?
Here's the thing. Since 1987, you rarely get this, but since 1987, double-digit home dogs are 89-7. So in the NFL, 89-7, double digits. So if you're getting more than 10 points at home in the NFL, so those are awful teams. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their day, the Dallas Cowboys when they were horrible for those years. All those teams, if you're getting more than 10 points at home, 89-7 against the spread. So I'm going to stay away from the game. I think Dak's got to get some things rolling. They look great. I'm going to stay away from the game, but stats don't lie. I mean, a lot of these games that we think, oh, they're just going to run away with it. You know, Florida State looks amazing. The Tigers are hanging in there. You get some of these teams on the road, and there's tons of games like that this week. Rivalries, interconference matchups, both leagues. Like you said, we've got 7 top 25 matchups this week after a dull week last week that I was kind of annoyed about. But, you know, you got a lot of good stuff in football this week. But be careful, bettors. This is the type of week where we get too much hype around certain guys, certain teams. They go in and they go on the road, and quite frankly, they get their hands full. And then you got games like this Oregon game, which is going to be exciting. Oregon, Colorado, which I'm really, really looking forward to. So,
is there a 21 point? There's a 21 point spread.
I'm absolutely staying away from this game, less one thing, just to have some excitement. I'm playing that as my 1-star pick this week. The total 70.5. So that means we need 71 points in this game. I'm going to play the over just because I'm going to have it on. Prime time's ready to go. I think they'll be slinging it around pretty good. He's going to have those shades on. By the way, did you guys see that? $1.5 million in one day of those sunglasses
that's
after
crazy.
last week's conference.
Isn't that crazy?
That's money.
Well,
man.
Marlon was talking about like 9+ million people watched that game.
Absolutely. And did you know his son's driving to practice in a Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
That's so.
Did you hear the? I guess Tom Brady responded on Twitter or on X. Whatever, he said, what the hell are you doing? Get back to work. Stop driving the Rolls. Get your ass back to work.
Let's be honest. Deion's bringing that thing, man. These guys are trying to get paid.
Yeah.
These boys are trying to get paid, so Deion's making it appealing. Hey, we want them to get paid too. The boosters want them. People want people to come to their schools. That's why this stuff's going on. And quite frankly, I kind of like it. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think we need to be driving around in Rolls Royces, and guys that's Daddy and Deion probably shouldn't be driving it. But hey, let's be honest.
He is a Sanders. That's what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah, what are these guys going to drive? I mean, what is Elon Musk's kid going to drive? If he was into chicks, what would he be driving? He certainly is going to have a nice car, so I don't know what the big deal is. You think
he'd have a Tesla with some 40s?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He better. He better. What do you guys think about my pick last week? No one's mentioned that we went 5-0 for the first week.
Yeah.
We are fired up. We got things going on, and one of my picks, which is going to be my 2-star pick of the week again this week, the Las Vegas Aces, boys. I text you at that game. Absolute blowout. They're tomorrow. They're 8.5 point favorites at home. We're going to go ahead and take them.
Who are they playing, by the way?
You know
I don't follow WNBA.
You don't know who they're playing.
No.
You seriously don't know who they're playing.
No.
Why? Can you guys believe this? He's watching netball on
Marlon's the one watching netball. I've yet to see that.
Unapologetically.
He showed me netball when we went to GCU last week.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you showed me netball in the middle of like GCU men's basketball practice. I'm like, why the hell are we watching this?
Well, it was awful. It was awful. I think Big G was taking some PEDs getting ready for the Chicago Cubs game that night when you guys were watching netball. By the way, they're playing the Dallas Wings. So
okay.
They're amazing.
I didn't know the Dallas had wings.
Well, they don't. they best not start flying tomorrow. I can tell you that because I'm laying some lumber on the Aces, -2.5. Let's move on to our 3-star pick of the day.
Let's do it.
Today, we got Stroman back on the hill for the Cubbies. They're playing Colorado. Obviously, you guys talked about the race, including the Diamondbacks. I'm looking for, I'm going to lay 1.5 runs. So the Cubs are going to have to win by 2 today at home against the Rockies. They've been struggling with it. They got the bats going a little bit yesterday. They struggled against the Pirates, but I'm looking for them to bounce back. Stroman back on the mound. Those guys are fired up. I was talking to Rossi earlier, and he says his team's ready to go. I checked in with the Riva Classic. Shout out to my boys in Charlotte this weekend that are in the Riva Classic. I talked to Bellinger. He said his son's ready to get after it. So hopefully those guys are ready to go and knock these Rockies right to the ground. I think early. I'm looking for a 5-0 end of the third. That's what I like in that game. We can take that one to the window.
I got a question for you. Who do you think is going to wind up with that third slot? I think the Diamondbacks are going to secure the second slot for the wild card. Who winds up in the third slot? Is it Chicago?
I'm actually thinking that Arizona gets knocked out of this race. They've got the tough schedule.
That they get knocked out completely.
They get knocked out. I think they're the team on the outside.
So they get swept by the Yankees. They struggle against Shy Sox, and then I know they got 2 to finish the season against the Astros, and they're probably going to face Verlander because they're in a dog heat in their division.
The biggest problem they got is schedule. I think that's why the Cubs have the upper hand certainly in that matchup. But I think some of these teams schedule and who's going to be getting in. You're going to be playing against the team that's trying to get in. So one of those teams is going to lose a spot. I will not be surprised if the Diamondbacks are on the outside looking in. However, you did mention that they have some of the matchups, the tiebreakers, tons of tiebreakers, which is good for them.
With the Cubs and then the San Francisco Giants, but they're at a disadvantage when it comes to the Miami Marlins and the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, the Marlins are who I think is going to sneak in. The Marlins got no schedule coming up, so I will not be surprised if the Marlins secure that third spot. So that's who I got. I got Phillies, Cubs, Marlins as my 3 wild card teams. So yeah, I think the Diamondbacks will be one game I'm thinking on the outside looking in, but what do I know? All right, and then we got moving into let's go to my 4-star pick. I think we got a special caller calling in from Chicago. We're going to call in. I'm going to give off my 2 picks. You want to go ahead
and throw them in right now?
I'll get them in just 1 second. Okay. We got time. Right. I'm going to give off these quick ones. We got Texas. We got Texas. We got Texas. I like them today going into Baylor, -24. Let's get that team taken to the window. 4-star pick of the day. My 5-star pick, and before we turn it over to Big G and see what this guy's got in Chi-Town, I'm taking the New England Patriots on the road against the Jets. Bill Belichick hasn't lost 3 in a row to start a season since 2000, so that's 23 years ago. I'm looking for him to obviously have those guys back boat and ready to get into play some football. So I'm taking the Patriots, laying the points, and going into the New York Jets. I'm not a big Zach Wilson fan. Quite frankly, I can't get behind anybody that went to BYU. I mean, I wasn't even a Steve Young fan, but that was mainly because he was left-handed.
What do you have against Utah, man? You hate the Utes.
I think it's the entire state. I don't even know what a Ute is.
I think it might have been when netball was invented.
Probably.
Absolutely a problem. Absolutely a problem. Hey, let's turn it over to the phone line. Our first big caller of the day.
We got Big G from Chicago, grandson of Wolfman Jack. So you guys probably will, right? Am I right?
Big G, yeah, absolutely. Big G, have you recovered from last weekend?
Hey, barely recovering and going again tonight. We got a wedding tonight. But first of all, how's it out there in Arizona, fellas?
It's beautiful, Big G. We got no rain. We got no weather. We got partly cloudy, 85, and a chance for zip doodle.
Yeah, it's perfect out here.
There you go, fellas. Well, it just so happens Big G just came across another 10-star.
Oh, baby. Give it to me, baby.
Oh, boy.
All right, well, this is what I got. I got a bounce back Saturday. Minnesota, who got lost to pick from my 10-star last week. They are 0-3 against the spread. The number popped out at 13. All of a sudden now it's -11. It's a home game for Ethan Kaliak-Manis, the quarterback from Minnesota. He's going to have tons of family and friends. I'm telling you right now, 10-star, head to the window, Minnesota, -11. Go wash your car. Go service your old lady. Head to the bank. Head to the window. It's a winner.
What's Zach Galifianakis' name again? What's that kid's name? How did you say that?
It's Ethan Kaliak-Manis. He lives about 40 minutes from Northwestern. I'm heading down there right now. I'm going to catch the game, and I'm going to fly down to the wedding over there. So it's going to be a great time. We're going to celebrate, and it's going to be an easy victory. Minnesota, 36-10.
36-10. in a blowout. Hey, Big G, while you're down there in Northwestern, you going to have a chit-chat with anybody?
Yeah, Fitzgerald. I'll tell you right now, Fitzgerald, not happy with you, buddy. I'm not happy with you, buddy. And if I run into you, we're going to go fist. I'll take care of you, Fitzgerald. This type of stuff in 2023 is unacceptable, and we won't put up with it here in Illinois, buddy.
Don't piss him off too much. He might haze you.
Big G, I guess these fellas don't remember what you look like. You're ready for a fight, aren't you, Big G?
Hey, I beat up Fitzgerald. I beat up people like Fitzgerald on my way to my fights. Okay,
Big G, 10-star pick of the day. Recapping, he's taking Minnesota minus the 11. Take it to the window. Fakananacalis is going to be going definitely
whatever his
hard.
name is.
Yo, God, he was yelling it out at Augusta Ranch last week. Before we get off, guys, I just want a big shout out to my guys at Western States. I know you said it. We were doing PEDs for the game the other day. They came over. I had an air conditioning situation, and the guys from Western States came right out. I called their hotline 480-712-8908.
Yeah,
I know you have a pen. I know
Yeah.
you have a pen on you, folks. So write down that phone number. Call my guys at Western States. They're good guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Western States. Shout out to Western States. They were a title sponsor. So, yeah, absolutely.
Guys.
Yep.
I'm kind of surprised Big G didn't mention the Live Tour is in. If you guys want to look for something fun to do tomorrow, obviously you got NFL action, and obviously you got the Las Vegas Aces, but the Live Tour is in Chi-Town, and so Big E told me to check that out. There's some guys playing in that have had some success in that tournament in the past, so the Live guys are in town. So I'm looking for Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka to get into some type of what do you call it? The Ryder Cup's coming up, so those guys are going to get into shape. But I'm looking for one of them to come from behind and possibly take down that tournament in Chicago. Why Big G's not watching it?
All right, that was crazy, Tracy Tingu, the one and only. We appreciate you coming in once again to go ahead and drop your prognostications.
Absolutely. If we go 5-0 this week, Big G's going to be on an island somewhere, and we're going to have to talk for him in Aruba probably. So we'll figure it out.
All right, so that's crazy Tracy Tingu, AZ Turf and more.
Yep.
All right, coming up next, it's another segment of Beauty and the Beast with the lovely Dr. Amanda Jones, no relation to Marlon, exclusively here on the Crossover KDUS 1060.